All right, we have decided we're going to practice a little more with dividing with decimals. Our first problem says 504 thousandths divided by 42 hundredths. And remembering from our previous video, anytime we have a decimal out here, we have to get rid of it. So we are going to move our decimal over 2 times to the right. Whatever we do on the outside of our long division symbol, we have to do to the inside. So girls, how many times do we move our decimal?
2 times.
2 times. So we have to move our decimal 2 times inside here. So it's going to go right here, and we're also going to move it right up here. So we're going to ask ourselves, can 42 go into 5?
No.
No. Can 42 go into 50?
Yes.
How many times?
1 time.
1 time. So I'm going to put my 1 right on top of this 50, right up top there. So 1 times 42 is 42. Remember how important it is to keep everything lined up straight. So 50 minus 42 is 8. And we bring down our 4. How many times can 42 go into 84?
2 times.
We think 2 times. We're going to multiply it over here on the side just in case. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So we're correct. We're going to put our 2 right above this 4. 2 times 42 is 84. Once we get a 0 down here, we know we're finished. We're good to go. So our next problem says 18 divided by 3 hundredths. Ladies, do we see a problem? What's the problem that we see? There's a decimal out here, so we have to move this decimal out of the way so that we have a whole number. How many times did we move the decimal?
2 times.
2 times, so that means I have to move the decimal over here, but oh no, I don't see a decimal. If it's not in sight, it's on the right. So I have to move it over here 2 times. So I'm going to take this decimal and move it up here. But right here I have to put in some 0 placeholders. Okay, so now I can ask myself, can 3 go into 1? No. Can 3 go into 18?
Yes.
Yes. How many times?
6 times.
6 times. So that 6 is going to go right on top of the 18. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 minus 18 is 0. All right, now sometimes we get a little confused, so let's pay close attention here. I'm going to bring down this 0. How many times can 3 go into 0? 0 times. 0 times 0 is 0. Of course, we don't really need to subtract, but we're going to bring down this 0. How many times can 3 go into 0? 0 times. We can do the same thing. 0 times 3 is 0. So we are finished now. That's how you divide by zeros here. Okay, so now we're going to try 14 and 2/10 divided by 7 and 1/10. The first thing I need to do is move this decimal point out of the way. So there it is. So if I moved it once out here, I have to move it once in here, and then I'm going to put it up there on the top. So there's my decimal point. All right, so now I have 71. That's a big number. Can 71 go into 1? No way. Can 71 go into 14?
No.
Definitely not. Can 71 go into 142?
Yes.
How many times?
2 times.
2 times. All right, let's try it over here. 71 times 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 7 is 14. So it can go in there exactly 2 times. Awesome job. So now we're going to try 378 thousandths divided by 54 hundredths. So once again, we're getting rid of this decimal point over here. We're going to do the same thing in here, because if we move it out here, we have to move it in here. So I'm going to move this one up. And remember, this decimal point no longer exists. It's now over here, 37 and 8/10 divided by 54. Okay, so can 54 go into 3?
No.
No. Can 54 go into 37?
Yes. No.
No. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 0 right here because our whole number would be 0. Can 54 go into 378? Yes. So as I'm asking this question, notice I'm kind of ignoring that decimal point right there because in our minds we have to know how many times 54 could go into 378 to be able to get some kind of a whole number to be able to put right here. Okay, so 54 could go into 378 times 378, how many times? What do we want to try out? 7. My girls have already tried this on their own, so maybe she knows the right answer. 54 times 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. 36, 37. I think she knows the right answer. So it is going to be 7/10.